Hi friends, welcome to today's video. My name's Stephanie and today I'm so excited to be partnering with Cirque Colors to celebrate their 12th birthday by sharing 12 of my favorite Cirque shades. I will also be sharing their new polish and charms that are going to be available as a gift with purchase during the sale, and I will talk more about these sale details at the end. I just wanted to give a big thank you to Cirque for sponsoring this video. For now, let me just show you my favorites. So let's start with the gift with purchase bundle, which comes with two new products. One of them is a nail polish called Spa Water, and this is a beautiful gray blue kind of tinted base with a glowing blue to purple shifting shimmer, and it also has silver reflective glitters, which I will show a little bit later. This one is absolutely beautiful. It's definitely on the sheer side, especially on the first coat. You can kind of see straight through to my nail line, but you do get a wash of that blue base color, and more than anything, the shimmer really stands out. It is just so glowy, and even though this one is packed with silver reflective glitters, the formula is just so smooth and easy to work with. It's not super thick and gritty like some other reflective polishes can be, so it's definitely a plus to have such a buttery smooth application. So here it is in 3 coats, and you can still see a little hint of nail line, but I feel like with how glowy the shimmer is and how sparkly it is, it really distracts from it. At least it does in my opinion. So here it is with some slightly adjusted lighting so you can see that shift to purple. It is just so pretty. Here it is under flash so you can see just how that reflective glitter shines. I just love how twinkly reflective glitters are, and the shimmer is definitely still there but a little subtle in comparison to the reflective. And lastly, here it is as a topper over black and white. Since it was pretty sheer on the first coat, I think it looks best over black or any other dark color. And lastly, I wanted to do a quick comparison next to Spoonful of Sugar from the Twisted Tea Party collection a few months ago. That one sadly, but not surprisingly, sold out pretty quickly. And while they definitely have a very similar vibe, I wouldn't call these dupes. They're more like sister polishes. They do have a similar kind of base color. I would say Spoonful of Sugar is a little bit lighter. That one's also filled with holographic instead of reflective glitter, and it has a more purple shimmer head on instead of the blue. The gift with purchase bundle also comes with some new Birthday Bubbles Rhinestones, which are clear Aurora Borealis flatback rhinestones. Even though they're described as clear, I feel like they just kind of have like a white sort of color to them with a subtle blue flash that almost gives it like a moonstone kind of glow. So they definitely are pretty reminiscent of bubbles, which I think is just so cute. So I layered a couple of them over spa water and used a glossy top coat. These 2 new products will come free with any order of $75 or more while supplies last. Now getting into my favorites, we're starting with Ohana, and this is an icy lavender crelly base filled with a turquoise to blue to violet color shifting shimmer, as well as a dainty holographic sparkle. This one came out in last year's Surfer's Crush collection, and it immediately became one of my favorites. I just love this bright aqua blue shimmer against this lilac-y purple base. It is just so delicate and ethereal, kind of giving you fairy vibes, but also mermaid vibes. Just so perfect for summer if you don't want something super in your face. This one might be a little sheer on the first coat, so I think you could definitely use this as a topper, especially over another purple, but I just love building this up on its own in 3 coats because you know that I love the sheerness. I think it just adds to that ethereal kind of quality. And here it is with some adjusted lighting so you can see that shift to purple. It is just so pretty. Next up I have Say Chic. This was from the Cosmic Discotheque collection a couple of years ago, and it is a hot pink jelly polish with a dazzling blue to purple color shifting shimmer, and of course the same delicate holographic sparkle. No surprise, this is one of my top favorite Cirque shades. It is just a juicy, bright, hot pink with another glowing shimmer. It's just everything that I want in a summer nail polish. The formula on this one is super easy to work with as well. I would say that it leans more on the true like jelly side as opposed to the slightly crelly side that we saw with Ohana. So you are going to see a little bit more nail line with this one. Next I have Bam, and this is a bright pink coral cream. So I know you're probably so used to seeing shimmers or sparkly shades when it comes to my favorite Cirque polishes, but I do really love a lot of their cream formulas because they're just so pigmented, so creamy, and easy to work with. So it's incredibly satisfying to paint with them, whether you're building them up on their own or using them in nail art. And of course, I'm going to include a bright coral shade for summer. It is just such a staple shade in my opinion. I wore this one recently as a full mani, but I especially love this as a pedicure color. The next favorite I have is Fandango, and this one is described as a light coral pink with a dazzling golden orange shimmer that shifts to yellow and green in extreme lighting. And again, it has a delicate holographic sparkle. This is one of those polishes that I return to every summer. It just gives me such golden hour, sunset kind of vibes. It also reminds me of like juicy peaches, which I think are so fitting for summer too. Just such a magical twilight hour kind of color that I feel like is also very romantic. I guess maybe because of that pink base, but I don't know, paired with the gold, I feel like it just reminds me so much of like summer romances. Maybe that's just the Libra in me, but either way, I absolutely adore this shade. It's just so magical and so versatile with how sheer it is as well. You can layer this as a topper or build it up on its own like shown here. The green color shift was a little hard to capture on camera, but hopefully you can see it. It is so pretty. You know I love Cirque's jellies, and it was so hard to pick one, but since I'm going with a little bit of a rainbow theme, I thought it would be fitting to share mango jelly, which is this really beautiful, warm, yellow-leaning jelly polish. So jellies are meant to be translucent. You're not supposed to cover up your nail line because you really want to have that super juicy, almost candy-like effect. They're perfect for layering with glitter toppers or shimmery sheers, or even with other jelly polishes to create your own custom colors. But I really wanted to spotlight this one because I feel like yellow jellies are usually not the most popular, but this one is literally like mango syrup in a bottle. And mangoes are my favorite fruit, so I just had to include this one. The next color I have is jelly adjacent. This one is Sour Punch, and it's a bright lime green jelly with dazzling golden iridescent flakies. So if you don't want to do any kind of layering yourself, Cirque does have a few polishes like this one where you can just apply it and it has this beautiful special effect to it where the flakies are just floating in the jelly base. It is just so beautiful. I love the base color of this one. It is just such a bright, vibrant lime green that is definitely very green and not like chartreuse, which isn't usually my favorite color, but it provides the perfect base for those fiery microflakes. They just glow. The next polish I have is Paradiso, and this is a mint turquoise green with a soft purple shimmer and a delicate holographic sparkle. This one is newer to my collection, but I fell in love with it. It is just one of those beautiful, soft turquoise shades that I think is so magical for summer, and the purple shimmer with the delicate hollow just give me total mermaid vibes. I just love this color combination. It is just so magical. I would say formula-wise, this one is most similar to Ohana, where it is still a little sheer. You're gonna see some nail line after 2 coats, but it's more on the buildable side compared to some of the jellies. For a true blue pick, I have Wipeout, and this one is described as an ocean jelly blue polish filled with this aurora shifting green to blue to violet shimmer, and of course that same dainty hollow sparkle. So this one actually came out in the same collection as Ohana. I just generally love that collection, but if I had to narrow it down, these two would be my top 2 picks. I feel like this blue is just so magical. It might not look super impressive on the first coat with how sheer it is. You definitely do want to build this one up. I would recommend doing 3 coats because this one is a little bit more on the jelly side, so doing a 3rd coat will just intensify the color a little bit more and give you more of that ocean blue base. But the shimmer in this one is just so mesmerizing. I love the green to blue to purple shift so much. And the last colorful polish that I have is Wild Berry West. This one is a berry red jelly filled with a dazzling blue to violet to red shifting shimmer and another delicate holographic sparkle. So this one actually came out in the same collection as Fandango, so you can guess these were my top 2 favorites. I feel like this one is just such a staple. It is just such a stunning color. Like, you saw how pigmented it was on the first coat alone. It definitely still is sheer, it's on that jelly side, but you really get color here. I'm not sure if I fully agree with calling it a berry red because I feel like this leans a little bit more purple, at least it does on me, but either way, it is just so beautiful, so juicy and sparkly. I especially love the red leaning color in indirect light. Now, there's no way that I could do a favorites video without mentioning Chiffon. It is an absolute staple in my collection. You could probably tell from the bottle shot that I'm halfway done with this bottle and it's like my 5th one. So I should have added a little thinner or something because I kind of struggled with the formula on the first coat here. And granted, my bottle has the skinny brush. If you were to buy this, it's gonna come with a wide brush, so you don't need to worry about that. But yeah, I can't stress enough how often I reach for this one. It's my go-to for a sheer pink. And lastly, I have a couple of glitter toppers to share. The first one is Crystal Tokyo, which is just one of my absolute favorite glitter toppers in my whole collection. It is just packed with these pink iridescent micro glitters and they are just so magical. I just love how they shift in color. It just gives me total fairy vibes, especially paired over a sheer pink like Chiffon, but I did also layer this over Ohana and Paradiso and I think it gives me mermaid vibes because it just reminds me of like crushed seashells. Like, it's just so colorful and so pretty. And rounding out my favorites, we have XX, which is the Roman numeral for the number 20, which represents the 20 different types of glitters in this topper. It is just jam-packed with all of these metallic, holographic hex glitters in different sizes. There's also some square glitters, some diamond glitters, just such a colorful, fun explosion on your nails. I love it over a plain base because you can really see all of the glitters so well, but it's equally as fun over a shimmer. And finally, here is my collage of my 12 favorites. It's not in perfect rainbow order since I don't have like a true red, but I just couldn't help but choose the shades that I have here. I'm sure so many of them are familiar to you all. They just are definite staples in my collection. And that wraps up my 12 favorite Cirques to celebrate their 12th birthday this year. So as far as the sale details go, the sale is going to be 10 days running from Friday, July 5th through the 14th. You can get 20% off store-wide by using code BDAY12. And as a reminder, I am an affiliate with Cirque, so while my code doesn't stack during the sale, you can still support me and my channel by shopping through the link in my description box. As always, a big thank you for all of you who do support me through that. It really means so much. So yeah, I would love to know what you're planning on picking up during the sale, especially if there's anything that I shared. I obviously have a lot of Cirque favorites and it was kind of hard to narrow it down, so I went with like a brighter summery kind of palette. But if you do have any other questions for like other shades, just let me know in the comments so we can chat about it. But thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you have a great rest of your day and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.